From what I've seen, I think the God Comp can absolutely win, but it's close games, and I feel like if this God Comp isn't up to snuff, if they don't play their best, they make some mistakes, they're going to get walked over by this WLS. It's going to be able to put out so much pressure.
Yeah, we're about to see. We're about to see what's going to go on. And I mean, we've seen Smexxin, we've seen Dota play before, and we know that these two players can really put the pressure on. So Lebrons Hairline is going to be scared here. I mean, I would going up against a team like this, but here we go. The game is starting.
Yes, Smexxin's going to charge in immediately onto Guardy. He's probably going to want to shut down some of that initial God Comp pressure, so he needs to deny Guardy's initial CC. LockGod doing his best to load up. The other team with dots, the Water Elemental already getting very low. Not going to want to see that die. Absurge getting deep up into the full sheep. LockGod TKO has that Demon Soul up right now, but Absurge is fully sheep. Guardy actually having to play a little defense as the Hodge going out onto Smexxin. He decides to trinket that right away. He wants to put the pressure out on the Black Man Shadow Priest, and at the moment, it looks like Smexxin's going to be fine. He's going to use his Die by the Sword cooldown to deny some of that incoming damage. Absurge is going to get out of CC. Hopefully, we'll be able to top off Smexxin. But this WLS already has so much pressure. The wings coming out from Brune. This is going to be his saving grace. Once these wings fade, once the Avenging Wrath fade, it's going to be really hard for him to deal with this pressure. The Recklessness Bladestorm coming out from Smexxin. Bop already coming out from Brune on a Black Man, Shadow Priest, and Guardy also low at the moment. Both the Shadow Priest and the Mage taking so much damage. Absurge getting deeped up, trying to get that sheep out is Guardy, but he gets stopped. LockGod getting silenced. But at the moment, Brune's Avenging Wrath is going to fade, and once that fades, it's going to be a nightmare for him to heal through this WLS pressure.
It absolutely is, man. This team is doing so much damage. Absurge's now caught into the fear. They want to turn it around. The full polymorph lands on Absurge, and Smexxin knows he's still sitting pretty at 60% health here. He's taking the gateway. He's heroic leaping. He's just getting out of there. Absurge's now caught into the full Hodge in the middle of the map, but the pressure from the Warlock is still there. Everyone on the team. The Stormbolt goes out onto Brune, the Holy Pally. The fear onto the Black Man Shadow Priest. Absurge is completely fine, and Smexxin's backup Shaman looks completely fine, and as the game goes on, the pressure is just starting to gain its momentum. Black Man Shadow Priest now dipping down lower and lower, under 50% health here. Brune having a rough time healing through this. He's like having to use Execution Sentence on his Shadow Priest while his Mage is the one at 50% health here, getting connected by haunts and everything. And the pressure from Smexxin's backup Shaman is crazy, but now Smexxin in a bit of trouble, caught into that Hodge. As Absurge is in this full fear, he's going to heroically back to his pillar, try to get out of line of sight of this double wizard team. But Absurge is going to get out of that CC finally. Inspection should be okay out of this, as Absurge isn't in any CC, and he's going to catch a huge heal, but now the silence on the LockGod TKO, the deep freeze onto Absurge, nothing to follow it up just yet.
No, Brune actually still has a lot of cooldowns to work with. He is caught into that full fear right now, but he does have Trinket, Bop, and Bubble available if he needs it. LockGod popping that Demon Soul, going to empower his Hoss a little bit. The Avenging Wrath once again coming out. Huge Holy Light and Word of Glory going out on the Black Man Shadow Priest. He's going to be able to top him off. Guardy still has both blocks too, so this Holy Pally God Comp still has a lot of cooldowns to work with. All have Trinket, all have basically all their defensive cooldowns. Meanwhile, Smexxin has his Trinket and Rage Regeneration come up in around 10 seconds, and Absurge has everything he needs ready to go. Demon Soul not going to be available for another minute for LockGod TKO, but both teams sort of being passive, trying to feel each other out. Guardy's going to finally try to push in for that deep sheep. He's going to get denied on it, though, by Smexxin. Excellent job done by him. So Absurge not going to be in any CC out of that fear, and because of that, he's going to be able to keep Smexxin aggressive and offensive. Black Man Shadow Priest in a lot of trouble. The fear onto Brune. Saber of the Light procking onto him. He has that 50% HP at the moment. Guardy also fully loaded with dots. Smexxin taking a lot of damage though. The Saber of the Light, or sorry, the Die by the Sword, as well as the Enrage Regeneration coming out from Smexxin. He wants to self-sustain a little bit as Absurge is caught into that CC. And now he's going to be fine. He needs to deny that sheep, though, coming out from Guardy. Absurge got deeped into a Ring of Frost there. Guardy gets denied once again on a CC, so great job by LockGod as well as Smexxin to deny those polymorphs. The Bop, though, coming out on the Black Man Shadow Priest. He has no Saber of the Light available. He is at 25% HP. Smexxin has that Recklessness up a little bit longer. It's going to fade, though. Huge damage going out on the Guardy, down to 22% HP. The Ice Block's coming out. Now Brune is going to use that Avenging Wrath to get out those heals, but he gets Storm Bolted on those immediately, and his entire team is rotting down right now. LockGod has that Demon Soul coming up very soon, so he's going to have that available when Brune doesn't have his Avenging Wrath, and that's when this WLS is going to be able to get a lot of pressure rolling.
Ooh, Smexxin though dipping down 40% health here. Abster's not into any CC just yet. Preemptively using that Tremor Totem, I think, trying to prevent the incoming CC, but he's not going to be in any CC, and Smexxin's A-OK. The Demon Soul coming out from Dota, just putting the pressure onto this team. Bruin now dipping lower. Blackman Shadow Priest into that disperse, as well as the bubble being forced, and Smexxin's backup Shaman is just putting the pressure into this Holy Pally God Comp, just forcing defensive cooldowns from just about everyone. The Horrify goes out into Smexxin as the Polymorph is on an Absurge, with Smexxin still at 80% health here. Now the Hodge out of it. Can they set up onto this Warrior? But Blackman Shadow Priest, he is so low at 7% health here. Bruin in the Stormbolt, he will go down, and the WLS is going to take the first game and just really prevented any setup, any momentum that this Holy Pally God Comp had to offer. But there we go.
I mean, there's very few. I mean, although Smexxin got low a couple times, there's very few moments where he was actually scared. I mean, Abster's had just trinket both Spirit Links the entire game, so he was able to just easily rotate that Dab of the Sword as well as his Rage Regeneration trinket, kited when he need to, and the WLS was actually very safe throughout that entire game, despite it looking a little scary.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I mean, looking at Abster's just defensive cooldowns, he just about always had that trinket link available in the time of need, you know. But there we go. The first game is going to go to Smexxin's backup Shaman, and we're going to jump into game number 2 here very soon. But this WLS is a very scary WLS at that.
Absolutely one of the best.
So, just going to confirm that. I believe Smexxin's backup Shaman only has one composition available to them. So,
yeah, I believe both teams do.
Alright, so we're going to jump into the next map. It is going to be Tolvaron Arena, a much larger map. But it's a bit more open as well, you know. But I don't know, here we go. We're going to jump into it. The pillars are much larger to run around, so it's a little bit more vulnerable, I feel, in some aspects. But with a larger map like this, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to give the tools that Lebrons Hairline needs to take a win off of Smexxin's backup Shaman. But we're going to find out here very shortly, guys. Just one hot minute. Alright, welcome to Tolvaron Arena. It's Smexxin's backup Shaman versus Lebrons Hairline here in tournament number 18, best of 3 series. Lebrons Hairline is just one game away from being eliminated, and Smexxin's backup Shaman, the WLS, only has one more game until they go into the semifinals. One more win, I should say. And here we go, the gates have opened. The Holy Pally God Comp looking to push in here. The portal was created by Dota. And there we go. Smexxin's going to charge right in on to Guardy. Guardy dipping down a little bit low here. The Blade Storm out of that route coming out from Smexxin. But the full Polymorph is going to land on an Absterge. And Lockout TKO is the kill target at the moment. He's going to get silenced up here, dipping down to 50% health. As the Ice Novas go out, he's going to portal back, use that Demon Soul, try to get offensive, try to turn that momentum around. And the Trinket Link is going to be forced out of Absterge already. And this is looking like a much better game for Lebrons Hairline.
Yeah, I like their target choice this game. Dota's going to be forced to play a little bit more defenses. You're not going to be able to push in for fears on Bruin. But now Blackman Shadow Priest taking a lot of damage, down to 25% HP, 90% HP. Is he going to get the Disperse off the Bop and the Disperse coming out from Bruin as well as Blackman Shadow Priest? And so many cooldowns being forced here. Lockout still has another one of his Demon Souls up and ready to go. Recklessness still available for Smexxin. So not even using their offensive cooldowns, they were able to force so much pressure. Bruin has the Avenging Wrath up. He has to run behind the pillar. He wants to get out some heals onto himself. He should be able to top himself out, but Blackman Shadow Priest is the target of choice. Smexxin doing so much damage onto him. Here's the Demon Soul as well as the Recklessness Storm. Blackman Shadow Priest in a lot of trouble. Saber the Light proccing on him. If they can get any CC on a Bruin, that is going to be the game. It's going to be 2-0 for Smexxin's backup Shaman. Just dominating the game from start to finish. Lockout was in a little bit of trouble at the beginning, but Abster's just making sure he's safe with the Spirit Link, and they were just able to ride that momentum from start to finish.
Oh man, that was a very convincing win. I mean, but this initial setup on the Lockout TKO definitely had some potential there, but the pressure that this WLS just pushes out is so hard to deal with. And there we go. Game number 2 is going to go to Smexxin's backup Shaman, and they will advance to the semifinals. here in TCD tournament number 18. Looking at that score screen, I know you guys like to look at the score screen so very much, so I try to show it to you as often, but sometimes I still forget. But time in CC, it looks like Absurd was caught in the most CC that game, but it was a very, very short game. And there we go.
Very short indeed.
So taking a quick look at who's coming up next.